Hey guys, well, happy Tuesday. I hope your Tuesday is off to a fantastic start. Go ahead, press the button. So going forward into today, yeah, technical difficulties, so I can't really see the screen right now. So yeah, just give us a couple seconds. We're having difficulties. Okay, I think it'll work in a second. Yes, okay. Well, we do have hail chances today and major wind risks today in Kansas, and now we're back up, so great. So we can get into the forecast here in just a minute. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over Monday's 3-star map, yesterday's 3-star map, 2-inch hail with that, and we'll go over that here in a minute. And the heat, really, it's going to keep raging on today and throughout this week. Excessive heat warnings in Texas and even some heat advisories in Oklahoma that's been going on. And wind and hail threats today for the Central Plains all the way down to Oklahoma and Kansas and up to Nebraska and the Dakotas as well. But for our upcoming events tomorrow, All-Star Stadium Tour in Philly and Citizens Bank Park tomorrow, June 28th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So come out and see us. And so now we're going to go into the hailstorm highlight for today, Monday 3-star map. So this was in North Carolina yesterday, just west of Greensboro, and it was Lexington, Mocksville, Charlotte, North Carolina. Max size was 2 inches, and 136,405 homes were impacted. So that goes all the way from like Newcastle here. Let me just get out of the way here. Newcastle to Thomasville, and you can see there's some pockets of up to 2 inches of hail in that area, and that's just a really long swath all the way from Newcastle to Thomasville. So if you want to purchase any this map or any of the other maps, just feel free to scan that QR code at the top of your screen, and you can purchase one of these maps, especially the one from yesterday. So right now, this just went through Edmond and Oklahoma City. Current conditions just went through a couple hours ago. Actually, didn't just go through, but it's starting to move off into Arkansas, and that is severe thunderstorm warned as it moves across into Arkansas. And there's been some pretty high winds with that. Not too large of hail. It's really just a wind threat in that, and it looks like it's starting to taper off and die down. So wouldn't worry too much about that for the inward parts of Arkansas. But current temperatures right now, 95 degrees in Dallas. It is going to get very hot in Dallas and Waco and parts of central Texas today, and an excessive heat warning today. 91 at Houston, 70s up north, and 80s as well. And so the jet stream for today, we're going to just take a broad view of what we're looking at for our chances today and why we do. So we do have that ridge, and that's why we're having hot temperatures in the south, but we do have that severe weather threat today for much of Kansas and parts of northern Oklahoma and Nebraska area, and that's because of this short wave trough inside of just north of the ridge that's going to, it's a kink in the jet stream, or a wiggle in the jet stream. You can say that is just a disturbance in the jet stream that will give us those winds, upper level high winds, and that's just enough to give us that severe weather today. And that's going to move off to the east, hot temperatures for the southeast later on this week, and another chance for severe weather in parts of Wisconsin and parts of possibly Minnesota, but mostly Wisconsin for tomorrow. But yeah, so we'll get into that for day 2 here in a couple of minutes. But today, this is what it looks like on future radar. This afternoon, this is at 6:30, I do believe storms are going to start to initiate along the border of Colorado and Kansas border this afternoon by 4:30, maybe a little bit earlier, but around that time, it's going to move off into just due east towards Wichita. And in this area, we have strongest potential for hail. Initially, we're going to have large hail, damaging winds for sure, but that is where we're going to see that large hail possible. And then as it moves off to Wichita, we'll see more of a high wind threat as we move off to the east, or as the storms move off to the east, I should say, and then we'll move off into Arkansas, Missouri, that's Missouri, Joplin, and down into parts of the southeast. So later on tonight, there will, at the same time, in North Dakota and Nebraska, another round for severe weather in this area. It's going to be along this area, along Nebraska, kind of south of Rapid City. That's where that tornado threat also will be, but that's very, very low. So we'll have it'll be isolated in this area and move off later on in the evening. So about the same time, it's just going to be a line of storms along the Central Plains, move off to the east, and so this is what the maps look like for this, and we will see strong wind and large hail initially in this area in Dodge City and west of Dodge City, and I do believe some of these storms could get as far south as northern Oklahoma, but its confidence isn't very high that they will make it over here, but that is a possibility. So people in northern Oklahoma, just be prepared for that, and they will start to move off into the east and southeast parts of the states to the east. So Rapid City and North Platte has another chance for a low threat for some large hail, up to 1.5 inches of hail in this area, and 1 inch to 1.25 inches in the rest of the area where these storms are going to move off and kind of the risk will start to go down, but there will be some storms. It will be isolated, so not everyone in this shaded area will see severe storms or hail, but there is a low threat in that area. So moving on to today's wind forecast, and winds for up north are going to be pretty much the same as hail in that area, but it's down south in the Kansas area and Oklahoma area where we're going to see more of higher risk for damaging winds. And Dodge City and Wichita, we have you at a high risk for damaging winds. It's hatched in the dark blue area, 74 to 95 mile per hour winds is something that is expected in this area as it moves through. And after it crosses Wichita, Kansas, it will start to, the risk will start to go down, but the risk isn't zero as it approaches the east and Joplin and move off into parts of Arkansas. So going up north, Rapid City and North Platte, North Platte, there will be moderate risk for high winds down further south where you get more of those isolated thunderstorms, and that slight risk for tornadoes in the south, but going up north, a low risk for Rapid City, same as the hail swath. So tornadoes, low threat for tornadoes in the Kansas and Oklahoma border area, Dodge City and Wichita, low threat, and same for North Platte and parts of South Dakota. So today we do have heat alerts out, excessive heat warnings for Texas. Dallas is included in that, and Waco, parts of western Texas as well, and a heat advisory for Oklahoma. And this just means, so for a heat advisory, the heat index is between 100 and 110 degrees, but for excessive heat warning, the actual temperatures are up to 105 degrees. So that's what we're looking at for Texas. So if you're in Texas, definitely take precautions in that. So now for tomorrow, we're going to see another low risk for some hail in the Central Plains in the Nebraska and Wyoming area. And this is what it looks like tomorrow evening as these isolated storms start to make their way through. We will start to see more of them pop up in the morning hours on Thursday. and another risk for Wisconsin tomorrow as well. Just crossing, not specifically in Minneapolis, but this is more to the east of Minneapolis. There will be some isolated showers and storms in that area, and that's where the most instability is in this area is in eastern or western parts of Wisconsin where those isolated thunderstorms are. So that's where I'm expecting there to be the highest risk for some small to moderate size hail in that area, and it's going to move off to the east. We could get some hail in the central part of Wisconsin with these storms, and then it's going to move off to Green Bay, and Green Bay could get hit with some thunderstorms, but not really expecting anything too severe in that area tomorrow. And this is what that hail map looks like. I do think that the largest hail could be seen in the part, kind of the panhandle of Nebraska, if that's a panhandle, but in this area south of Rapid City, but northwest or northeast of Cheyenne, where those isolated supercells or isolated thunderstorms could go up in that area. I do think that was where the highest chance or the highest hail sizes could be in that area, and then around 1 inch to 1.25 inches. And same thing for parts of Wisconsin in Eau Claire, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, that low risk for some small hail in that area as well. And for tornado forecast for tomorrow, it'll be a low risk for tornado in that area, in the Rapid City area, but I'm not expecting really that many tornadoes in this area. But for today, going back to today with our severe storms in Kansas, this is that dry line. This is where those storms are going to fire up along the border of Colorado and Kansas, and also up here in Nebraska and Colorado. So where that is, and you see this moisture is just kind of getting up into that air, just training into Oklahoma and Kansas, and that is going to be fuel for these storms as well. So moisture is there, instability is there, and we have all the ingredients for severe weather today in Kansas. Now we had a lot of rain today in Oklahoma City and parts of the Oklahoma City metro, and the drought has definitely gotten so much better, but we still are really dry up in Kansas and Nebraska areas, so we do need the rain in those areas. And yeah, so for the next couple of days in Oklahoma City, this week is going to be very hot in the triple digits. Tomorrow for Wednesday, Thursday, 100, 103, and 99 for Friday, 90 for Saturday, with another chance of possible thunderstorms. We'll keep you guys updated on that. And the DFW area, not much different, but it is a little bit warmer, a couple degrees warmer going off into this week. Hundreds going into the weekend and the rest of the week. So for that 5-day tropical outlook, this tropical depression did get upgraded to a 10% chance of forming into a cyclone in the next 2 days, but still 30% in the next 7 days. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens with that. So that's it for today. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for more information, and call us at 855-324-4245 and email us at info@hailtrace.com, or go to our website at hailtrace.com and check us out on all the stuff. So thanks guys. Have a good day.